You won't believe how one homeless boy changed the heart of a violent billionaire. This incredible story of courage and friendship will make you reconsider your views on life and wealth. Chapter 1. The Meeting of Two Worlds. In a small town where tall skyscrapers were adjacent to abandoned buildings, there lived a billionaire named Viktor Solovyov. He was known for his ruthlessness in business and ruthless approach to competition. Success came to him thanks to his ability to manipulate people and exploit their weaknesses. But despite his wealth, Viktor remained single. His days were spent in endless meetings and deals, and his nights in solitude surrounded by luxury but devoid of warmth. On the other side of the city, in a dark alley, lived a homeless boy named Max. He was only 10 years old, and he already knew what it was like to suffer. His parents died in an accident, and since then he has been wandering the streets trying to survive. Max was an intelligent and resourceful boy who learned how to make a living by collecting bottles and selling them. Despite the difficulties, he remained optimistic and had faith in people. One day, fate brought them together. Viktor, rushing to another meeting, accidentally bumped into Max, who was sitting on the sidewalk with a cardboard box. The boy held out his hand with a pleading request for help. Viktor, accustomed to ignoring the needs of others, paused for a moment. But instead of pushing the boy away, he looked into his eyes and saw a spark of hope there. Chapter 2. An Unexpected Decision. After this encounter, Viktor couldn't get the image of Max out of his head. He returned to his office and continued to work, but thoughts of the boy did not leave him. Something inside him had changed. He decided to take a step that no one expected to help Max. Viktor didn't know how to do it, but his desire to change the situation became stronger. He started by organizing a small fundraising event for homeless children in the city. It was unusual for him to be involved in charity work. However, Viktor understood that this could be the beginning of something more. He became actively involved in the life of the city, meeting with volunteers and charitable organizations. When Viktor found out about the shelter for homeless children, he decided to visit it. There he met Max again. The boy was surprised to see the billionaire among those who came to help. Viktor went up to him and said, "I want to help you." Max couldn't believe his ears at first. Such a person couldn't be interested in his fate. Chapter 3. Friendship and Trust. From that moment on, an unusual friendship began between Viktor and Max. Viktor began to visit the orphanage regularly, bringing food and toys for the children. He began to communicate with Max, learning about his life and dreams. The boy told him about how he wants to become an artist and paint pictures. Viktor was amazed by Max's talent. His drawings were full of life and hope. He offered the boy the opportunity to learn to draw from a professional artist. This proposal was a turning point in Max's life. Not only did he get a chance to develop his skills, but he also began to believe in himself. With each visit, Viktor became more and more interested in the world of children. He began to understand that wealth is not only money, but also the opportunity to do good. His heart was filled with warmth when he saw the joy on the children's faces. However, Viktor still had doubts. He wondered, why should I help these children? But every time he saw Max with a pencil in his hands or heard the laughter of other children at the orphanage, these thoughts disappeared. Chapter 4. Trials. However, not everything went smoothly. Many of Viktor's business partners were unhappy with his new hobby. They considered his actions strange and inappropriate for a man of his level. Some even started whispering that Viktor was losing his grip and becoming weak. One day, at an important meeting with investors, one of them noticed, "You've become too soft, Viktor. Forget about your charity projects, they won't bring you money." These words hurt him. Viktor began to think about whether he really had to choose between business and kindness. Meanwhile, Max continued to paint and develop as an artist. He became a participant in the exhibition of children's art, where his work attracted the attention of local media. One day, one of Victor's businessmen was present at the exhibition who was amazed by the boy's talent. Victor was proud of his friend. He realized that his efforts had not been in vain, but at the same time, he felt pressure from his partners. They demanded results and profits from him, not charity. Chapter 5. The Turning Point. This businessman decided to help Max by offering him a scholarship to study at an art school. When Victor found out about this, he felt proud of his friend. It became a real lesson for him. Sometimes help comes from where you don't expect it. Victor realized that his investments in children could bring much more satisfaction than any financial transactions. He decided to change his approach to business. Instead of focusing only on profit, he started investing in social projects. Shortly after, Victor organized an exhibition of Max's work in his company. This event attracted the attention of the press and the public. People started talking about how important it is to support young talents and help those who need help. Chapter 6. The Trials of Friendship. However, it wasn't that simple. Despite Max's success, he faced envy from other children and adults who did not understand his success and tried to lead him astray. One day, during one of the exhibitions, Max noticed the displeased looks of some visitors. It was said that he was just a homeless boy who was lucky enough to meet a billionaire. These words hurt his pride and made him wonder if he was really worthy of success. Victor noticed changes in Max's behavior. The boy became more withdrawn and wary. One day they met on the roof of one of Victor's company buildings. It was their favorite place to talk about life. "Max," Victor began with concern in his voice. "What happened? You look sad." The boy was silent for a few minutes before answering. "I've heard things. People say, maybe you're just using me." These words struck the billionaire's heart. "I would never use you. You have become very dear to me. I want to help you," he said with sincerity. Chapter 7. Reconciliation. After this conversation, Victor decided to prove his sincerity to Max. He invited the boy to his company for an open day. It was an event for all employees and their families. At the event, Victor spoke to everyone present. "Today, I want to introduce you to the person who inspires me every day, Max." The boy came on stage to loud applause. "I want to tell you my story," he began, a little nervously but confidently. "I was a homeless boy." He talked about his difficulties and how Victor helped him believe in himself. After the speech, many employees of the company approached Max with compliments and support. They realized the importance of helping children thanks to this little artist. Chapter 8. A New Path. After this event, the friendship between Victor and Max strengthened even more. They began working together on new projects, organizing exhibitions of children's work throughout the city, and raising funds for shelters. Victor felt happy around Max. He understood the importance of friendship and the support of another person. And Max gained confidence in himself because he has such a friend. Every day, their joint work brought more and more fruits. Children from orphanages began to show their talents through art. Their works resonated with viewers and collectors. But even in the midst of success, new challenges awaited them. One day, one of the major investors offered Victor a deal to expand his business abroad. It could bring huge profits, but it required a lot of time and attention from him. Victor was faced with a choice: to continue doing charity work or to focus on business. He understood that if he accepted the offer, he would lose touch with children and projects to help them. Chapter 9. Making a Decision. Victor spent many sleepless nights thinking about his future. He understood that now he has the opportunity to change the lives of many children for the better thanks to his foundation and projects with Max. In the end, he made a decision. "I will follow my heart." He turned down the deal and focused on helping the children. This decision was a real liberation for him. He felt free from the pressure of business. Max was amazed by his friend's decision. Are you really willing to give up such opportunities for us? Victor smiled. Yes, I found my calling here. Chapter 10. Legacy. The story of friendship between a billionaire and a homeless boy has become famous all over the world. It has inspired many people to do good deeds. They prove to everyone that friendship can change the destinies of even the most diverse people. Victor found the meaning of life in helping others, and Max became a symbol of hope for many children. Their story reminded everyone that even in the most difficult circumstances, one can find light and joy. Over time, Victor created a foundation to help children from disadvantaged families based on his experience working with Max. The foundation has become one of the most famous in the country thanks to successful projects to support young talents. Max continued to develop his talent as an artist. His paintings were exhibited at international exhibitions, and he himself became a famous master of his craft. Chapter 11. A New Stage. As time passed, the friendship between Victor and Max only grew stronger. They traveled the world together, attending art exhibitions and charity conferences. One day, they decided to create an educational program for children from disadvantaged families. The program included art, music, and sports classes, all of which could help children develop comprehensively. This decision became a new chapter in their story. They understood the importance of education as a tool to change children's lives for the better. Chapter 12. Problems on the Horizon. However, difficulties arose soon after the start of the program preparation. Some members of the Foundation's board were unhappy with the direction of the work. They considered it necessary to focus solely on financial assistance to children instead of developing their creative abilities. Victor faced pressure from these board members. They demanded that he reconsider the fund's strategy in favor of more traditional methods of assistance. This created tension between him and the other team members. Meanwhile, Max continued to actively participate in the program. He organized drawing workshops for children from orphanages. His enthusiasm inspired others. Many children began to show interest in art. One day, during a master class, one of the children asked Max, "Why are you helping us? You were homeless yourself." This question made the boy think. He answered, "Because I know what it's like to feel lonely." Chapter 13. Inspiration. As the opening date of the program approached, tension reached its peak. Many board members continued to resist the changes. Victor understood that if it was not possible to convince them to support the new direction of the foundation, the dreams of many children could remain unfulfilled. He decided to hold a meeting with the council members. He prepared a presentation on the importance of art for the development of a child's personality. At the meeting, he said, "Art helps children express their feelings and experiences. It gives them the opportunity to see the world differently." Some board members were skeptical. They asked questions about the feasibility of such investments. But others have begun to understand the importance of art as a tool for children's personal growth. After much discussion, the board voted to continue the program. This was a victory for Victor and Max. They realized that together they could overcome any obstacles. Chapter 14. Program Success. The program was launched. It attracted a large number of children from different areas of the city. Classes were held in a cozy room of the orphanage. There was an atmosphere of creativity and inspiration. Max became the main mentor of the program. His energy infected everyone around him. The children began to draw paintings that reflected their dreams and experiences. Each work was unique and unrepeatable. Local media soon found out about the program. Journalists began writing articles about how art helps children find themselves. This attracted the attention of the sponsors. The foundation began to receive funds for the development of the program. Victor was proud of his team's achievements. He understood that their work was changing children's lives for the better. Every time he came to the children's classes, his heart was filled with joy that they had found their vocation. Chapter 15. A New Challenge. But soon after the program was launched, a new challenge arose. One of the local businessmen began spreading rumors that the fund was using money improperly and inefficiently managing funds. These rumors began to threaten the foundation's reputation. Some sponsors began to doubt the wisdom of their investments. Victor realized that it was necessary to act quickly. The foundation's reputation was at risk. He assembled a team for an urgent meeting. They developed an action plan to refute the rumors and restore trust in the foundation. Victor made a statement to the press about the transparency of the foundation's work. "We are open to everyone. We are ready to provide expense reports." This statement helped calm the unrest. Many sponsors expressed support for the foundation and confirmed their intentions to continue cooperation. Chapter 16. Reconciliation. Meanwhile, Max continued to inspire the children with his example. One day, during class, one of the children told him, "You're always smiling. How can you be so happy?" Max replied, "Because I know that each of you can succeed." These words became a motivation for many children. They began to believe in themselves and their abilities. Every time after classes, they went home with smiles on their faces. It was a real achievement for all participants of the program. Victor watched the children's confidence grow. He understood the importance of their support for each other. It was that feeling of unity that inspired everyone around. Chapter 17. Legacy. Over time, the program became known outside the city. Other regions began to be interested in the experience of the Victor and Max Foundation. Their story has inspired many people to create similar projects across the country. Victor decided to expand the program. Now it covered not only art, but also music and sports, everything that could help children develop their talents comprehensively. Max has become a symbol of hope for many children. His work has been exhibited at international art competitions. He has received numerous awards for his achievements as an artist. Conclusion. This incredible story of courage and friendship makes us think about how we can change the world around us. Each of us is able to take a step towards other people. Sometimes this can be the beginning of something great. Don't be afraid to open your hearts to others. Perhaps you will become the person who will change someone's life forever. After all, it is these connections that make our lives more meaningful because each of us can become a source of light for another person. The story of Victor and Max reminds us of the importance of human connection in our world. It teaches us that true wealth lies not in money or power, but in the ability to help other people find their way to happiness.